Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today's topic is Redux. Understanding Redux state management in React. What type of problem we are going to solve using Redux? That will be covering as part of this video. Second point will be covering disadvantage of multi-step prop drilling, and this is one, there are some disadvantage of multi-step prop drilling which Redux resolve. So that's why this topic is important here. Core principle of Redux, what is Redux, and reducer in Redux, benefit using Redux. So Redux is a library, just like React, it is another library which is basically used for state management, which we are going to cover. So let us start. So here problem we are going to solve. Problem we are solving. So what kind of problem? Normally in the React application, we create app component, and under the app after app component, that is container component, and then for your application, and then we can see child 1, child 4 is a one node, and then in second node we can see child 2 is having further two nodes, child 5 and child 6. Child 5 is having 8 and 11. Similarly, in component, third node, child 3, then 7, child 9, and child 10. So here basically this is the normal structure of any React application or another JS application also, where we have app component is root component, you can see, and then further we have various other components. So this is typical structures which normally we follow. So now let us see, here there are some set of problems. Let's suppose we're doing something in child 10, then you have to render 3, 7, and then and if we're doing some changes in 11, then you have to pass various things from child 2, child 5, child 6, and child 11. So that is kind of creating some performance issue also. So let us see that in detail in next video. This one, disadvantage of multi-step prop drilling. So assuming that component 1, 2, 3 are not actually using those state and props and are just acting as a passing for prop drilling, right? So let's suppose we're doing some changes into component 4. If we create a state in component 1 and pass it to all bay to 4, right? So root component, parent component is component 1. Now here we create the state, then we can pass that to child 2, child 3, and child 4, right? In that way. Now then 1, 2, 3 will have to re-render unnecessary because state is needed or state is getting changed on component 4. So unnecessary we are rendering 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. So this is unnecessary rendering of child parent components, child 1, child 2, child 3, and wherever we only making changes on each component 4. So this is called prop drilling, and this is the problem of multi-step prop drilling. So that is very big key disadvantage where we are unnecessary rendering many component in DOM, and that would impact your performance. So let us see next, core principle of Redux. So, single source of truth. We can create one reducer for your this. Let's suppose you're making some, in your functionality, you have these four component, 1, 2, 3, 4 component, child 1, child 2, child 3, 4, as I mentioned in previous step. Then, you can create a reducer, single reducer, and that single reducer is source of truth. State is read only, whatever state you passing here and there, that would be read only, and change are made with the pure function. Yeah, so that is. Now here in this diagram you can see UI view, and then we dispatching from UI to action, right? Whatever changes we're doing on UI component, we need to dispatch that action to actions, right? And as a action, you can say, or you can pass this to the action method, and then add action would be calling reducer. A reducer is updating to the store, and stores is linked with the UI and view, and in that way you can quickly see the changes on UI. So this is simple cycle of Redux, you know. So these are the core principle of Redux. If I'm missing something, what we have: dispatch action to reducer, reducer update store, and the store is mapped to the UI. Subscribe by UI. UI is subscribing to the store, right? So in this way, Redux works basically. These are the core principle of Redux. Single source of truth, state is read only, change are made with a pure function. Let us move to the next. What is Redux, right? So again, more detail about Redux basically, you know, that we were covering the cycle, but now here in your previous example in React app, where we have app component, then we have child 1, child 2, child 3, and child 4, right? So what we do on the app component, we define the provider, and then we use the store one single component, and then store is available for all the component. Your other component directly access the state. Let's suppose I'm making some changes in 3, then directly 3 component can subscribe store, right? Or you can say would be accessible by providing store access to the app component. All child component of app get access to store by default. So where you need to give the access only on app component to store, and it would be available to all the respective child component of that. So that is the beauty basically, right? And anywhere you can directly access the store. So that is the way how we are going to implement basically Redux in your React application only by providing access on app container, app component, right? Next one is reducer in Redux. Yes, we already covered little part. So what this reducer is doing, current state, and then you can say action, and then you can say we have something current state or initial state, and on that if we performing any action, B means UI is performing any action, then reducer is updating, creating the new state, right, in Redux. So every time they are creating new state based on current state and based on action on current state. So that is the purpose of Redux. Next one is benefit using Redux. It increases predictability of state. That is very important, and it highly maintainable. You can create a complex application, large application, and any type of applications where you can maintain the state in Redux. It prevents re-rendering of various component, unnecessary re-rendering. It makes debugging easier. Yes, it is very easy to debug the code, and then you can define a multiple reducer, and then map them with respective actions and storage map to the UI. So it's easier to easy um, to debug. It is useful for server-side rendering. Yes, if you have such kind of requirement in your React application where you need to implement server-side rendering, then it is very useful. Also, most of application use client-side application, client-side rendering. So both client-side rendering and server-side rendering, it is good. It is easier to test. Yes, testing purpose also it is easier. Now these are some key advantages which we can consider as part of Redux. Apart from this, so one thing I would like to say, there are other thing. Some persist type is available where you can persist this Redux state in local storage, and in session storage. Also, nowadays we have hook patterns. So we normally, for global state, we using the Redux, and there is some set of local storage at which we need at component level. We want to maintain some state. We can also use reducer or use state, and then you can maintain the local state also. So I would suggest, if you have complex, medium or large application, you can go with the hybrid mode of state management with the combination of Redux and use hook pattern, which is use state, use reducer. All right, so that is all part of this React. Hope you like this video. And if you have any question or anything, you can ask, you can share your thoughts, you can share your ideas. That would really help me to improve in further video. Thank you very much. See you in next video.